Okay, so today we're going to go over how to set up Microsoft 365 email on iPhone in 2025. For this tutorial, we're going to be setting up email using the default mail application on the iPhone. We have a separate video where we go through how to set it up if you'd like to use the Microsoft Outlook app on the iPhone. This is for using what's called the native mail app on the phone, which is what a lot of people use. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find the Settings app on your iPhone, and it looks like this. It's typically it's gray with like this gear thing. It's this thing right there. Okay? So when you open that up, you're going to want to scroll all the way down to the bottom. It can be kind of a long list, and what you're looking for is apps. This is different from how the iPhone worked a few years ago. But all of these things now take place underneath apps. So when you tap on apps, then you've got a very long list on most phones. This is every app that you have on the phone in alphabetical order. You're going to want to look right in the middle of the alphabet under M, and you're looking for Mail. So when you tap on Mail, you're going to get a screen that looks somewhat like this. You may or may not have other email accounts set up in here. Regardless, you're going to want to go under Mail Accounts. If you have no accounts set up, it seems like sometimes on some versions of iPhone, there's actually a button here for Add Account. But if you have any other email accounts in there, even an iCloud one, it's going to say Mail Accounts. You just want to tap on this right here. That's going to take you to a list if you have any other accounts in there. Most people do have an iCloud account. It may not be an email, but it does get set up when you set up your phone. What you're looking for is this Add Account button right here. Okay? So once we tap on that, then we're going to be asked for which type of account we're wanting to add. Now, we're using Microsoft 365 email here, and we're going to want to choose Microsoft Exchange. Sometimes people think that it's, that they should pick Outlook.com. That's not correct. You don't want to go the route of other. This is the only way to connect properly to Microsoft 365 email is you call it a Microsoft Exchange account. And once you do that, you're going to be brought to a screen like this, and you're just going to type in whatever your email address is, your work email. And as soon as you finish typing this in and go to the next field, this description is going to fill in for you, and it's going to say something like Exchange. I typically recommend that you change that to something a little more personal, even if it's as simple as typing in the word work, because very often you're going to have your personal email on your phone, and you're also going to have your work email. You could name it the name of your company, but you want to fill in your email address and then some kind of a descriptor here to let you know this is your work email, which for most people, your Microsoft 365 email is typically your work email. Okay, then you click Next. Now, once you do that, you're going to get a pop-up like this. And it's going to ask you, do you want to sign in using Microsoft? For Microsoft 365, the answer to this is yes, you want to click Sign In. If you were doing Exchange on-premise, and if you don't know what that is, then that's not what you're doing. Exchange on-premise is when you have the mail server located at your company. It's a big server that handles your email internally. There's a different process for that. For that, you have to configure it manually. We've got a separate tutorial on setting up Exchange email on the iPhone. For Microsoft 365, which is cloud, you want to sign in using Microsoft when you're asked to. So you tap Sign In. And then I don't know why, but it asks basically the same question in this other way. Do you want settings to use MicrosoftOnline.com to sign in? Yes, you do. You just click Continue. Okay, then you're going to be brought over to a screen that looks like this. It kind of opens up on top of the window you had open before. And it's going to show you your email address right here. And it's looking for your email password. And that's the only other piece of information you need to complete this. So just type in your email password and then click Sign In. Just like that. That's what it'll end up looking like, is your email address here, and then the password will get masked as you type it. You type sign in. Okay, now it's jumping to the multi-factor authentication thing back here, but there's this thing that pops up, and it's basically just asking you, this is kind of like when you sign into a website on a computer and the web browser asks, do you want to save the password? iPhones have a passwords app. It's offering to do that. You can save the password. You can not save the password. Your IT person may have a particular recommendation for you. To me, it doesn't really matter. If you want to save it, if you want to tell it, nay, never do that, or just skip it for now, any of those choices, it's your call. It doesn't affect how we move forward through the rest of this setup. Okay, now we're at the official multi-factor authentication prompt. All Microsoft 365 accounts have this now, pretty much, and yours may look a little different than this. The account that we're doing for this demo here has it set up to where a number of, like a mobile phone number, can be either texted or called, and then, you know, it will send you a number that you have to key in. For some of you, you might have an authenticator app that you have to do this step with. So this may vary a little bit depending on how you set up multi-factor authentication when you originally set up your Microsoft 365 account. Now, if you haven't set up your multi-factor authentication, then it's going to look really different here. It's going to tell you, we need more information for you to sign in, etc., etc. What I would strongly recommend is just back out of this whole process. If your multi-factor hasn't been set up yet, back out of this whole process, get to a computer where you can open up a web browser and go to office.com. Log in for the first time with your email and your password, and do the multi-factor authentication setup there. It's just all around a lot easier to do that than to try and juggle all of that on the phone, switching back and forth between apps to authenticate and stuff like that. I would recommend doing that setup on a computer. Then come back, walk through these steps again, get to this point, and you'll be able to verify your identity with whatever process for multi-factor that you set up. Okay? So in our case, we have the option for text or call. You may have not these options. You may have just, an authenticator thing. So in our case, we're going to tap on text. So it will go to the next step. And then it's having us enter in the code that we got. Now, again, if you've got an authenticator app, this is going to go a little bit differently, but the end result is the same. They have verified your identity using your mobile device to make sure it's really you signing in here. Okay? So in our case, we've typed in a number that it sent to us, and we're clicking verify. You may do this all through the authenticator app, and it'll get you past this same point. So at this point, if it's successful, you're going to be brought to this point here where it shows that description that you typed in for your account. It's going to show it right here. And these are the different types of data that Microsoft 365 offers to sync. Most of the time, there's no reason to change what it offers you here. It's offering, in our case, to sync all 5. You definitely, mail is a must. That must be synced. Maybe you've got reasons you don't want the contacts or calendars synced to your phone. Most people do want those synced. It's totally up to you. The only one here that's mandatory is mail. You really want, that's the whole point of what we're doing here, right? So you set these however you like. You could leave them at the default in most cases, and you tap on save. And that's it. Now your email account shows up in your list here of mail accounts. And if you hop on over to the actual mail app, then you'll see your work email in there. So that is the setup for Microsoft 365 on an iPhone as of about mid-2025. Apple and Microsoft both seem to like to change stuff about this. So hopefully this info will still be good for a decent amount of time. I did one of these videos about 2 years ago, and it's all completely changed. It's crazy how much. It's just leave it alone, right? Anyway, that's that. Hope this was helpful. Have a great day.